What happened on the red carpet at the Bet Awards? Remy Ma didn't just pull up sis and then get grabbed by security like it was the last scene of a Tyler Perry drama. Wigs were practically flying, security was rushing, and Claressa's shields made her look like she was ready to compete in a completely different weight class. And guess who was right in the middle of all this chaos? Papoose, the walking relationship goal turned emotional disaster magnet. What did Remy see that caused her to go from rap royalty to a mugshot moment in less than 90 seconds? Was it just a lover's argument? Or is there more to this bet bombshell than that? The entire internet is trembling like Remy Ma's last nerve because of what happened at the BET Awards. It began as a glamorous night of black excellence, glittering gowns, and overhyped performances. But 1 second, Claressa Shields was posing on the carpet giving "I'm the champ" and the bride energy. And the next, Remy Ma arrived like a Bronx hurricane, and before anyone could say security. Wigs were being tested, microphones were flying, and bet producers were perspiring more than Usher in a confessional. But let's go back a bit, because this wasn't just a casual altercation between two celebrities. No, this was years of drama simmering beneath the surface. It was personal, calculated, and far too wild to be scripted. At the center of it all was, you guessed it, Papoose, the man who was once known as the most devoted husband in hip-hop. But after the events of the past year, fans are now wondering if he was always loyal or if he was only loyal to concealing the truth. For months, there have been rumors that Claressa Shields and Papoose have been getting cozy behind the scenes. We're talking about soft launch Instagram stories, secret boxing sessions, and one suspicious trip to Turks and Caicos that neither of them can explain. Remy, who has always kept her personal life private, has remained mostly silent up until this point because what allegedly started this full-blown bet brawl was something no woman ever wants to see with her own eyes. Her man holding another woman's hand backstage, smiling like he just won a championship belt. No, it wasn't for music. When Remy entered the room, he saw Papoose and Claressa backstage alone in midlife, looking way too comfortable. Then Claressa put her hand on his chest, saying, "I know this is mine now." Let's be clear, this wasn't just a who you talk to moment. It was a full-body tackle, followed by a wick-snatching uppercut that had everyone screaming "World Star" before anyone had even taken out their phones. Security attempted to intervene, but according to sources, Remy was acting like she was back in jail, elbows flying, heels still on acrylics, and suddenly Claressa went from gwot to being hooped on a Tuesday bet. It was too late. The 4K video had already been leaked with captions, and now fans are demanding to know how we got here. To understand this bet blowout, we need to go back to the beginning. Remy Ma and Papoose were once thought to be unbreakable. She was in prison, and he held her down like the last good man on earth. They became the epitome of loyalty and black love, standing tall through it all. However, the rumors began to surface, first quietly at first, like whispers in the wind. When Claressa Shields were seen laughing on FaceTime, one fan even took a screenshot of what they claimed to be Papoose, saying, "Fire, fire, 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 fire," and then deleted it. Then came the Claressa interviews, where she would chuckle when asked about dating, and then mysteriously say, "I'm keeping things private for now." Honey, that's code for "I'm sneaking around with someone famous, and y'all are just not ready yet." And here's where it gets worse. An anonymous source who claims to work with Bet's talent coordination team claims that Remy Ma wasn't even supposed to be backstage at that moment. She had been seated near the front row, 2 segments away from. The same source also claims that Remy had been acting tense the entire night, not talking to many people, glued to her phone, and kept watching the side stage. One assistant even claimed to have heard Remy mutter under her breath, "They think I won't show out here. They've got me twisted." So when the footage leaked, and yes, we have alleged cell phone video where Remy screams, "You thought I wouldn't? Find out." Before she performed a surprise verse with Fat Joe, the internet essentially collapsed in a matter of minutes. Twitter was on fire. Remy dragged Claressa as if she had stolen her entire album, and Papoose had women fighting for him. Like he was the last man with a pension. However, before anyone could portray it as a simple altercation, security stepped in and one stylist allegedly caught a heel to the chest. At that point, police were called because, let's face it, once things go from shade to pushing to someone's earring being discovered on the floor, it's assault. By the time Remy was escorted off the property, the damage was already done. And the headlines were already writing themselves. Remy Ma is facing charges for assaulting Claressa's Shields during a live TV fight. What actually transpired behind the scenes? Re's own team allegedly attempted to fabricate a story to TMZ before the police report was released, claiming that Remy had slipped and unintentionally touched Claressa. However, the internet didn't believe it, especially not when slow-motion replays showed Remy clutching Claressa's ponytail as if she were attempting to drag her into the following year. Papoose, however, was nowhere to be seen after the fight. Witnesses say he disappeared, and some claim he left with Claressa. Way that silence is loud, so Remy Ma is being dragged out of the BET Awards in handcuffs, her lashes still hanging on for dear life. And what does the internet do? It goes full CSI mode, because this wasn't just a moment. It was a movement. Within minutes, Twitter, TikTok, and even Facebook Andes were analyzing every angle of the leaked footage, as if they were analyzing the Zapruder film. One user slowed down the clip frame by frame and swore they could hear Claressa yell, "She's crazy." Just before the hair pull, another user claimed they saw Papoose smirking in the background. The time-stamped footage shows Claressa whispering something to Papoose and then dragging him by the wrist with a little too much confidence for someone who is supposedly just a friend. However, it gets even more shady because guess who reposted? That clip with the caption, "Y'all really don't see what's happening here, Maze." Yes, that Maze. The same Maze who has been clowning Diddy for weeks. Suddenly inserted himself into this mess, and fans are wondering what he knows. An actress begins posting screenshots, and this is where things start to get really bad. One tweet said, "It was never about loyalty. Remy's been the distraction. Claressa is the endgame." At first, people assumed this was just a troll account. But a few days before the BET Awards, the account sent alleged direct messages from Papoose to an unidentified user. One of which said, "I'm tired of protecting her image. When the truth drops, I'm done pretending." Another Claressa was there when no one else was online. And fans began comparing Re's public outbursts to old interview clips, highlighting instances where she appeared emotionally checked out or already suspicious. Someone even unearthed a 2023 podcast in which Remy joked, "If Pap ever cheats on me, it better not be with someone who could knock me out." With a grimace, Claressa Shields has entered a state of strategic silence. Her team has made no statements, and her most recent post featured a black screen with the words, "Still standing unbothered." The comments read, "Nuclear girl unbothered or undefeated in ruining marriages. This ain't the Olympics." Claressa put down her gloves and picked up a moral compass, asking how many rings you need for a championship or wedding. Additionally, fans posted old pictures of Remy Ma, although the fake version claimed that Remy was booked for misdemeanor assault, battery, and disturbing the peace. The real story is that prosecutors are allegedly reviewing the footage to determine whether she can be charged with aggravated assault, especially since Claressa's team claims she suffered a minor injury and psychological trauma. Her prison jumpsuit was like fan art, and there were threads about her prison workouts, prison cookbook, and even predictions about how she would style her mugshot this time. One viral tweet read, "If Remy's going back in, I better see her drop a mixtape from jail again. Bars behind bars." That sounds dramatic. It is, because, according to an anonymous source close to BET Security, who is likely someone's cousin, Claressa yelled for security to file charges right away, telling producers, "I'm a fighter in the ring, not in heels. I came here for an award, not an ambush." Meanwhile, Ree's legal team is reportedly getting ready to argue provocation, claiming that Remy acted in temporary emotional distress due to betrayal, emotional manipulation, and public humiliation. The icing on the cake is that Papoose has yet to visit Remy. In an attempt to defend their marriage, he hasn't spoken out publicly. Instead, sources claim that he was seen leaving the bed after party with Claressa in the same SUV. One woman on TikTok posted a 3-minute sobbing video of herself holding up a framed picture of Remy and Pat from their hip-hop and love days, whispering, "I believed in you. I defended you to my auntie, and this is what you do." Remy's son even posted a mysterious quote on his private story, saying, "Loyalty is only real when it costs something." The drama isn't just online. Remy Ma's brand is also being severely impacted. 3 sponsorships reportedly paused, their others weren't so forgiving, saying that this isn't love, but rather ego, insecurity, and throwing hands because you lost control. If Remy Ma gets arrested again because of Papoose, I'm deleting my Spotify account. Fine, you're out here risking a record for someone shaped like a DNA test. And fake news outlets are waving their hands, and we're circling with theories. Did Claressa leak the footage to bring Remy down? Did Bet set it up for ratings? Papoose wrote a tell-all, but nothing at all prepared fans for what came next, because just as the internet was beginning to calm down, Papoose, Mr. Mute himself, finally broke his silence. No, it wasn't a post or tweet, but rather an Instagram live late at night with his face in the dark, as if he was in witness protection. What did he say? Not much. All I'll say is that he logged off after one sentence broke the timeline. Fans are divided over this. Some believe he's protecting Remy, while others believe he's secretly riding with Claressa. The courts aren't here for the drama, though, as Remy Ma is scheduled to appear in court next week. Prosecutors are reportedly looking at not only the bet footage, but also other instances where Remy allegedly displayed public aggression, such as that heated radio interview from 2021 where she almost flipped a microphone when asked about cheating. Rumors. If that wasn't messy enough, an anonymous employee of Papoose's camp just leaked an email thread that seems to show reminders. If you thought that Remy Ma's being dragged out of the Bet Awards in handcuffs was the end of this drama, think again, because this isn't just some viral moment, baby. It's a full-on celebrity collapse, and the consequences are spreading like wildfire. Pap and Claressa were scheduled to have a surprise private moment at the BET Awards 30 minutes prior to the brawl. The question now is, was this whole thing a setup? Was Remy pushed to snap and follow Papoose's plan at all, in order to finally walk away clean? According to court documents, prosecutors have obtained multiple camera angles from the BET Awards venue, including backstage surveillance. One source close to the legal team claims that those clips show Remy charging at Claressa with clear intent to harm, and that Claressa allegedly screamed, "Pap told me to tell you," right before the dragging started. If that statement is true, then Remy Ma has officially been charged with third-degree assault, disorderly conduct, and aggravated battery. This morning's legal fallout was reported by TMZ once more in its spicy fake version. Gets confirmed in court. That could change everything, because all of a sudden this isn't just about Remy losing her temper. It's about a premeditated betrayal. Not to mention that Papoose hasn't made any public statements, visited Remy in lockup, or posted anything on his main Instagram page. However, last night, a picture of Papoose and Claressa at what looks to be a private rooftop dinner appeared on a dubious fan page. There were no captions or a date stamp, but one keen-eyed fan noticed that the table centerpiece was the same one used at a known Bet after party, which was confirmed by an event planner's now-deleted Instagram story. Does this mean Papoose didn't just desert Remy? BET quietly issued a press release calling the incident regrettable and unrepresentative of the celebration of Black creativity. But behind the scenes, insiders say bet executives are incensed that their biggest night of the year is now known as the Brawl Awards. One viral tweet read, "Remy went to jail for a man who was already making dinner reservations with the enemy." That's not love. That's lunacy. But it doesn't end with betrayal because the industry is reacting, and they're reacting hard. This is what fans are calling a cold-blooded setup. Money for the performance the following year, assuming Claressa and Remy are even. Invited, and even though Claressa is claiming to be the victim, she is also getting heat. With over 75,000 signatures in less than 48 hours. The org petition removed Claressa Shields from celebrity events until she publicly apologizes to Remy Ma. It's gaining traction. The comments are harsh. You shouldn't take someone's man and their moment. If Claressa didn't want to be dragged, she shouldn't have played in Rhee's face. Sis dodged punches in the ring but couldn't avoid a Bronx brawl. Additionally, there is a documentary circulating that claims a streaming service that is unnamed but rhymes with Netflix is in early discussions. Rhee's legal team is going into overdrive. In a press conference outside the courthouse, her attorney, Latricia Nollies, who is undoubtedly fake, but let's go with it, told reporters that they are working with Claressa Shields to produce a tell-all documentary about her side of the drama. The working title is Undisputed Love, Lies, and Left Hook's producers are allegedly promising never-before-seen footage, anonymous voice notes from Papoose, and insider confessions. They are allegedly trying to buy the Bet backstage fight footage outright. If that sounds crazy, you're not alone. The twist is that Papoose could also be subpoenaed as a material witness. Because if prosecutors find that he was involved in emotionally baiting both women backstage, and if it is proven that he misled Remy about his whereabouts during the event, he could face his own round of legal hell. Fans are calling it karma court, and honestly, that's exactly what it feels like. My client is not just a rapper. She is a mother, a wife, and a woman who is pushed to her limits by betrayal, public humiliation, and orchestrated disrespect. We will prove that Remy Ma was provoked. Catch my man lying? I'm not yelling. I'm swinging first and asking questions later. While Hip Hop DX ran a headline that read, "Remy Ma's bet breakdown, betrayed by Papoose, burned by the industry, but still unbothered." And yes, there's now a hashtag Free Remy Ma tour movement. Fans are hosting block parties, streaming her music, and posting old freestyle battles like hers with Tupac in 1996. However, others are posing more difficult questions, such as whether this marriage was genuine or if Papoose was just for branding. Purposes manipulate both women to increase his own power. And if Claressa's story truly comes to light, what else will surface? Here's one last thing to leave you speechless. Last night, an alleged Bet Award staffer leaked an audio file to a gossip page. In the audio, a man who is said to be Papoose can be heard telling someone, "Once the public sees her lose it, I'm out. Let her go down with the show." The audio is accurate. It shows that Papoose is transformed from an innocent bystander to a cunning villain who used two powerful women to gain attention before disappearing as soon as the chaos erupted. While we wait for Remy's next court appearance, fans are already demanding justice not just for her, but for every woman who has ever been made to feel insane simply for responding to whether you love her or not. One thing is certain. Remy Ma didn't just punch Claressa that night. She also punched through the lies and the illusion, and perhaps she even punched her way back into the hearts of everyone watching from home. This is because, in a world where betrayal is captured on camera, edited, and posted before your tears dry up, sometimes people only listen to anger. Now, we leave you with the crucial question. Was Remy Ma a woman who was betrayed? A ticking time bomb lit by betrayal? Did Claressa truly cross the line? Or was she merely the scapegoat in a more complex game of manipulation? Most importantly, did Papoose plan this chaos all along? We're not just watching drama. We're watching a public unraveling in real time. But what do you think? Was Remy justified in dragging Claressa? Did Papoose set them both up for failure? Or is this all a twisted love triangle built for attention and betrayal? Let us know in the comments below, and don't hold back. We want to hear your wildest theories, your hottest takes, and whether you think Remy Ma deserves forgiveness or more handcuffs. If you're still holding your breath, don't worry, because there will be more shocking updates soon. We assure you that this tale is just beginning, but a bombshell could be dropped at any moment. Any moment.